Hello, everybody. This is Tucker Miller here again. And tonight, like I said, for my next movie review, I'm gonna be reviewing on The Emperor's New Groove. Came out in 2000. So, anyways, let's get to the plot. So, the plot of this movie is we got this guy named Kuzco, who is this character, voiced by David Spade, and Kuzco is an emperor of, and he rules this palace, and Kuzco is known to be unkind, spoiled, and selfish. So, and then we got this character Yzma, who was Kuzco's former advisor and the film's main antagonist. And meanwhile, Kuzco fired Yzma from being his advisor. So yeah, and Yzma got upset, and she decided to get revenge on Kuzco by getting rid of him, by killing him. So yeah, and with the help of her sidekick Quunk, voiced by Patrick Warburton, and yeah, so Yzma decided to invite Kuzco for dinner, and and then Kuzco drank this potion where it was supposed to kill him, but it turns out Quunk accidentally grabbed the wrong potion, and the potion was actually where he turns into a llama. So yeah, and then Yzma sent Quunk to finish the job, but however, Quunk does not have the heart to kill Kuzco. So yeah, and then meanwhile, Kuzco ended up with this guy named Pasha, voiced by John Goodman, and Kuzco blames Pasha for turning him into a llama and kidnapping him, but when he didn't, and yeah, and then Kuzco wants to turn Pasha's entire village into this place called Kuzcotopia, but yeah, but of course Pasha denied it, and yeah, and then yeah, but Kuzco and Pasha had to do everything they can to defeat Yzma and turn Kuzco back into a human. So yeah, it is up to Kuzco and Pasha to stop Yzma and turn Kuzco back into a human, and that's basically what the plot is. Now, what can I say about The Emperor's New Groove? This is an ass-whoop hilarious movie. This movie is ass-whooply hilarious. This movie is so funny. I love this movie. This is one of the best Disney animated films from the early 2000s, and I think this is the best film from the Disney animated film from the early 2000s. So yeah, and now this is the 40th Disney animated film. So yeah, now I'm already in film number 40. So yeah, I got a few more left, and I'll be done by Zootopia 2. By the time when Zootopia 2 comes out, which I may or may not get all the films in time when Zootopia 2 comes out, but I'll try my best. If not, I'll continue. I'll still continue reviewing on all the Disney animated films, and try my best to go see Zootopia 2, and I'll save the Zootopia 2 for last. So, yeah, and then I'll get to the ranking of all the Disney animated films. So yeah, I'm not going to do what I did. I'm going to try not to do what I did with the DreamWorks films where I had films, I had to review on the rest of the films way after The Wild Robot came out. So, yeah, and I took a break from the DreamWorks films and reviewed on Halloween films, which I'm not going to review on Halloween movies this year, though, so, because I want to focus on Disney animated films, so, for the most of the year, so, yeah. Yeah, so anyways, again, if I couldn't get all the films by the time Zootopia 2 comes out, but it's okay, I'll still continue. So, yeah, no matter, regardless, whether I get them done by the time Zootopia 2 comes out or not, I'll do it no matter what. Review on the rest of the films no matter what. But yeah, this is the 40th Disney animated film. So, yeah, so I got several more left, so, yep, and now I reviewed on all the Disney animated films from the 20th century. Now, I'm reviewing on the Disney animated films from the 21st century, so, yeah, but anyways, now back to this film. Sorry for getting off topic, but, yep, now, The Emperor's New Groove. Very funny moments, great story, great characters, hilarious characters, I should say, and the great voice talent of David Spade and John Goodman and Patrick Warburton, and this is a hilarious movie. I love this movie. So, so anyways, let's talk about the characters, shall we? Kuzco, first character we're going to talk about is Kuzco. Kuzco, he's a very funny character, an absolute hilarious character. You gotta love Kuzco. And I would definitely have to say, David Spade did a great job voicing him. Yeah, David Spade did a great job voicing Kuzco for this film. And yeah, you can't go wrong with David Spade. You know, films like Tommy Boy and etc. Oh yeah, Tommy Boy, Grown Ups, etc. But yeah, this is one of his best performances yet. So David Spade did a great job voicing Kuzco, and now we got Pasha. Pasha, he's a great character, and I'll definitely have to say John Goodman did a great job voicing him. And we all know a year later, John Goodman would voice another Disney character, which is actually a Pixar character. He would wait 1 year later. He would voice Sully in Monsters Inc. So John Goodman voiced Pasha for this film, and then a year later in 2001, he would voice James P. Sullivan or Sully from Monsters Inc. So Pasha, he is a great character, and I'll say John Goodman did a great job voicing him. And now Quunk, he is a great character. I absolutely love Quunk. Quunk, one of the funniest characters in a Disney film, along with Kuzco. Yeah, Quunk, he's a very funny character, and I would definitely have to say Patrick Warburton did a great job voicing Quunk. And speaking of Patrick Warburton, he's also going to be in, and Patrick Warburton is going to be in Disney's upcoming animated film, Zootopia 2. So Patrick Warburton will be in Zootopia 2, which is Disney's upcoming film. So yeah, and again, I can't wait for Zootopia 2. So yeah. Yeah, again, definitely have to say Quunk, he's a great character, and I'll definitely have to say Patrick Warburton did a great job voicing him. So yeah, and this is one of Patrick Warburton's best performances yet, alongside with say Joe Swanson from Family Guy, and to name a few roles that he did. Oh yeah, and of course Kenny from B Movie. So yeah. So yeah, Quunk is one of Patrick Warburton's best performance. So yeah, and of course we got Yzma. Yzma, she's a great Disney villain and a very hilarious villain. And I'll definitely have to say, yeah, Yzma, she's a great villain. I love Yzma, one of my all-time favorite Disney villains, for sure. So yeah, I absolutely love Yzma. She's so hilarious. So yeah, I absolutely love Yzma. She's a hilarious character. And of course we got Pasha's wife and kids. They're great characters. And yeah, Pasha's kids were very funny too, which in this one scene where we'll get to in a moment. So, yeah. Yeah. But anyways, those are the characters I could think up on top of my head. Now, let's talk about some scenes. And oh boy, there's a lot of great scenes. And a lot of hilarious scenes too. This movie is so funny. So anyways, yes, now the first thing I'm going to talk about, well, the scene where Kuzco was doing his groove, but he accidentally bumped into this old man, and he's like, "Hey, you grew off my groove. I'm sorry. You've fallen off the Emperor's groove," and the guard frees him out. Sorry. That scene was so hilarious. And another funny scene there's another funny scene where Yzma and Quunk, and that's the scene. I'll say it. Pull the lever, Quunk, and wrong lever. Why do we even have that lever? That scene was so hilarious. I laughed every time I saw this scene. It is so hilarious. And another funny scene in this film with Kuzco and Pasha, and there were the waterfall scene, and I'll say it. Don't tell me we're about to go over a huge waterfall. Yup, shark rocks at the bottom. Most likely, bring it on. Booyah! Oh my god, that scene was so funny. Another very funny scene, and that's probably my favorite part from this entire movie. I just love that scene. And every time I go on a log ride, I would quote this scene. I would say that line from the movie every time I go on a log wide, like those roller coasters where the log ride, like the roller coasters where you go up and it has water, it has like a slide in, and then when it drops, water will get over you, and yeah, and you get wet. So yeah, that was every time I go on those rides, I always had to quote that line. So yeah. There was another funny scene I want to talk about. Oh yeah, the scene where Pacha and Pacha's kids and his wife, the mom, and they were talking when and the mom was like, "All right, good night, you two." I mean, no, they were talking about the nightmare and about her father and about their father, and then there was like, it could happen. Yeah, and the mom's like, "All right, good night, you two," and the kids were like, "Good night, mom." Yeah, ha, and they continue going, ha, ha, yeah, ha. That scene was so funny. And another scene where they were at the restaurant, and there was the scene where they were at the restaurant, and Crunk went into the kitchen and asked the chef if he could do a special order, and he got really annoyed, and the chef got really annoyed. It's like, Crunk was like, "Hey, can you maybe do a special order?" And the chef was like, "Oh, like, if you want a special order, here, you make it. I quit. I tried and I tried." And he packs everything, and even the stuff that he was making. Oh my god. The special order scene, that was so funny. I love that scene. Man, a lot of scenes from the oh yeah, there was, and the scene where Crunk and the kids were playing jump rope. That was another funny scene, and yeah, and there was another funny scene I want to talk about where Yzma sent the guards to arrest Kuzco and Pacha, and then the potions turned the guards into different animals, and one of the guards was like, "Hey, I turned into a cow. Can I go home?" And Yzma's like, "You're excused. You're excused. Is anyone else? No, we're good." And oh my god, that was another funny scene. Man, this movie has some funny moments. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. Do yourself a favor and watch it. You will definitely laugh. Yeah, this is one of those movies that will make you laugh every time you watch it. So, yeah. Yeah, and also, not to mention, in the early production of this film, the movie was originally going to be called, the title of the movie was originally going to be called The Kingdom of the Sun. But, however, I guess that got scrapped in, and they brought this movie back into production, but changed everything. Instead of being called the Kingdom of the Sun, they changed the title to The Emperor's New Groove. So, yeah. And I think the original movie for this, the original production of this film, The Kingdom of the Sun, was supposed to be like a musical, like they did with Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Pocahontas, etc. But instead they made it more like with less music. I mean, there was a couple of music segments, but that's about it. But yeah, this movie is just more of a comedy film. So yeah, this movie is so funny, like I said. So yeah. Again, if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. You will definitely have a great time with this film. You will definitely laugh at every moment. You will enjoy every moment of this film. It is so hilarious. So, yeah. Yeah. Again, David Spade did a great job voicing. David Spade was hilarious in this film, and so was Patrick Warburton, and of course, John Goodman. And yeah, and Yzma, she's a very funny Disney villain. Probably the most villain for funniest villain for a movie in a movie. So yeah. Yeah, so anyways, that's all I can say about the Emperor's New Groove. So anyways, I'm gonna give the Emperor's New Groove a 10 out of 10. There are absolutely no flaws with this film. So, yeah. So anyways, that is it for my movie review on The Emperor's New Groove. And stay tuned for my next movie review, which will be on Atlantis: The Lost Empire. But until then, see you in the next video. Bye.